We have a gang problem in Aurora, without question. We have 25 some gangs like every major city does. We have a number of gang members, and it's not just up in that area. It's not just in that complex. It's throughout the entire city of Aurora.
The police chief from Aurora says he's convinced that an overnight attack on a couple was gang-related. Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. So far, it hasn't been determined whether the people involved were part of Tren de Aragua, the notorious Venezuelan gang. Investigators have been working throughout the day to identify more than a dozen people detained after the couple got free and called police.
Kevin Vaughn from 9 News Investigates joining us now from Aurora to explain how this started and what we do know now.
Tom and Kim, this began with a group of 13 to 15 armed people grabbing a man and a woman. They then took them to an apartment and brutalized them. It all unfolded at the Edge of Lowry apartments on Dallas Street in Aurora. It's a complex that's been in the news for months. Aurora Police Chief Todd Chamberlain used the word torture to describe what happened to the couple. He also confirmed the attack was gang-related, but stopped short of saying it involved TDA. And City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky said she's ready for a solution to this issue.
It is incredibly hard to identify specifically as TDA because there is no specific markers, there is no specific identifiers. Unless they self-identify as TDA, I am not going to say that they are TDA. But what I will say is, based on the actions that I saw, based upon how this event unfolded, this is 100% gang activity.
With the incoming administration, I do think that these criminals will be caught, and I think that they will be deported. Every human, whether they are here legally, illegally, documented, undocumented, every human being has the right to feel safe.
The chief said he believes everyone involved in this, including the victims, were Venezuelan, and he committed to protecting those victims, even said he would move them to a safe house if necessary. Live in Aurora, Kevin Vaughn, 9 News.
More to cover on this. We'll check in with you for that at 5 o'clock. Thanks, Kevin. Aurora says it's going to be moving forward with the plans to close the Edge at Lowry. Excuse me, let me grab this real quick. They want to close down the complex. The city blames the property manager's neglect for allowing the crime there to fester. Of course, the complex gained national attention this summer when the now infamous video went viral showing armed men walking into one of the buildings. There was a deadly shooting that was there that same day. The city has called the Edge at Lowry a criminal nuisance. Both the city and the owners of 5 of the 6 buildings agree that the property should be closed. Now they're working on a deal. The city attorney's office says it will likely update the city's criminal nuisance case in light of what happened overnight. Aurora says it will give residents at least 30 days warning before closing the property.
And new this afternoon, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson has officially been charged with murder. Luigi Mangione was indicted on several charges, including first and second degree murder, one of which is including a charge of the act of terrorism. The Manhattan DA called Thompson's murder a brazen, targeted, and premeditated shooting. If convicted of murder in the first degree, Mangione faces a sentence of 20 years to life. Right now, Mangione remains in Pennsylvania. His lawyer says he won't fight extradition. A hearing for that is scheduled on Thursday.
As we speak, mountain snow making driving a pretty slick opportunity tonight. Take a look at the CDOT camera just west of Vail Pass, that out on I-70. Very wintry conditions, but here on Denver, very different story.
Yeah, we are snow-free, and we're getting close to Christmas, so we probably won't see much around the city. Kathy, whenever somebody says it's an opportunity, it's usually not. You said it was a snow driving opportunity.
Total opportunity.
Not usually.
Yeah. Yeah, you always learn something when you drive in conditions like that, for sure. And we have the chance of seeing a snow shower in Denver yet tonight. This is our best chance tonight because after tonight, we are going to be snow-free right through the Christmas holiday. With that front coming in from the north, it has been extremely windy, clouds blowing around, there's been snow falling in the mountains, difficult travel. Temperatures in the 50s here in the city with the gusty winds over Blackhawk, Loveland Pass, and Kenosha Pass, but the winds will be shifting evening as that front moves through. The mountain wind and snow will continue overnight as we remain under a winter weather advisory. Colder air will filter in, but only for tonight. We are going to bounce right back into the 50s tomorrow as this system begins to pull away. Advisories for snow and wind cover the Pacific Northwest, the northern Plains states, and now Colorado, with a winter weather advisory out until 8 o'clock for 4 to 9 inches of snow. A winter storm warning for over a foot of snow west of Laramie in southeastern Wyoming if your travels take you up I-25 north of Fort Collins. We'll see that burst of snow from Steamboat down to Glenwood Springs and Vail. And again, a snow shower is possible between about 5 o'clock and about 7:30 tonight. Not expecting accumulation in Denver, but don't be fooled if you have a few little snowflakes on the windshield this evening. Might be the only time we see them between now and the holiday. So 40s now, temperatures dropping into the 30s overnight. Coming up, we'll detail the winter weather advisory and the chance for snow in Denver. That's all just ahead.
McDonald's is now facing a new lawsuit from a Colorado woman who says she and her daughter were among the 104 people who became sick after eating the chain's Quarter Pounders in October. The woman says she bought the burgers from a Colorado Springs McDonald's and went to the hospital with symptoms of E. coli the next day. Onions on those burgers were determined to be likely the cause for making people sick. The woman is now suing McDonald's as well as Taylor Farms Colorado, the company that supplied those onions. The outbreak led to a Mesa County man's death as well, including a total of 30 illnesses in Colorado. The Colorado Supreme Court has censured a state judge after it came out that he'd been drinking on the job for years. It went on for more than a decade before Judge Brett Woods faced any action.
This was a judge who oversaw child custody cases and often decided the fate of families. 9 News reporter Rhea Jha spoke with attorneys who say the length of the investigation makes it really hard to appeal the cases he was involved in. Right, Rhea?
Yeah, documents say an employee first reported the problem 5 years ago. Woods admits to telling the judicial HR about the complaint before firing that employee. In 2023 is when other employees finally reported him again, and it was just last week he was finally censured.
I don't know what took so long in this case for the ultimate discipline to come out.
It took nearly a year for the Colorado Supreme Court to officially censure the former Denver Juvenile Court's presiding judge, Brett Woods, for drinking on the job.
Judge Woods was the presiding juvenile officer of the Denver Juvenile Court for a number of years, and as a result, we had many attorneys appearing in front of him.
Woods was a judge in Denver for 16 years, and Melanie Jordan's office knows him well. She's the policy director at the Office of Respondent Parents Counsel, representing impoverished parents in child custody cases.
The focus of our court.
In a 2016 interview with the City and County of Denver, Woods explained the cases he rules on in juvenile court.
Where parents have maybe gotten involved in drugs, or they're abusing alcohol, or they have mental health issues, and they're not being able to take care of their children the way they should.
Woods was suspended in December 2023 after an investigation by the Colorado Commission on Judicial Discipline revealed Woods was, quote, concealing alcohol in a Starbucks cup and is reported to use alcohol every day. Every day for years. The investigation found Woods fired one of his clerks for reporting his alcohol impairment back in 2019.
Nobody else felt that they could come forward during that intervening 4-year time frame.
The investigation also reported witnesses observing Woods to be, quote, disengaged in the performance of his judicial functions and often improperly delegate his decision-making to others.
For parents who are in these cases, having one positive UA or one positive breathalyzer means that your kids don't come home or that your rights are terminated. From 2019 to 2023, he did terminate over 100 parents' rights during that time frame.
Woods stepped down in February and admitted to the allegations. Jordan says this year-long investigation means the case involving parents terminated by Woods will be nearly impossible to appeal.
I absolutely think it would have been better for the parents that we represent to have answers earlier.
The Colorado Judicial Branch said they have no comments on the matter. Rhea Jha, 9 News.
It's really sad all the way around, especially if someone has a problem, but you're talking about families and kids and breaking them up potentially.
Right, and he was a judge in Denver for 17 years, so you would imagine how long this has been going on for.
All right, okay. Thanks, Rhea. Holiday travel is on. The Transportation Safety Administration expects to screen 40 million people between Thursday and January 2nd. That is a more than 6% increase compared to last year. TSA says it They will be prepared to handle the busy volumes and the crowds. One of the busiest travel days is expected to be this Friday.
The Denver Broncos find themselves in the thick of the playoff race, so the NFL now paying more attention to them. Their game this week against the Chargers was flexed this coming Sunday to Thursday night. Well, now the flux the Broncos. And today the NFL announced that the 3 Week 17 games are going to be moving up to Saturday, including the Broncos. That's next Saturday, December 28th. Among them, the Broncos and Bengals in Cincinnati. So that'll be a 2:30 kickoff on that Saturday. That'll make it a big day for football in Colorado. That's the same day as both the CU and CSU bowl games. In fact, the Broncos and Colorado State are going to play at the same time. So it might be a multi-set operation for many people.
It will be a very good excuse for people to say, I can't move. I'm planted.
Well,
I've got to go between here and here, and I've got a device.
Really a bummer for CSU. Obviously, they're going to have a
is.
tough time getting eyeballs on that game with the Broncos taking on Cincinnati at the exact same time. But that's the way it works sometimes.
Yeah. Is that a good thing when you get flexed to Saturday? Is that like a compliment? Like, wow, we think you're...
Yeah, because those games are going to be seen by the entire country.
Right.
They're not
so
going to be in
that's
any...
the big difference instead of being in a region for a Sunday.
That is the difference. Yeah, you're national TV. There'll be 3 games. That'll be the second of the 3 games on the Saturday slate. But everyone who wants to watch NFL football will see the Broncos and the Bengals.
And you're just not going to do anything all day Saturday. But
Oh, I'll be busy.
watching all the all the games.
No, I got work to do.
Liar, liar, pants on
I got
fire.
all sorts of stuff to do.
All right. We could have a professional women's soccer team in Denver soon. The New York Times is reporting the National Women's Soccer League has narrowed its expansion talks to just Denver. Denver was previously announced as one of 3 finalists alongside Cleveland and Cincinnati. We think Denver's better. The new team is expected to debut in 2026 alongside another new team located in Boston. An NWSL spokesperson told 9 News that the expansion process was ongoing and they look forward to sharing more news in 2025.